Good evening, Addison. Welcome to the combined meeting of the committees. May the clerk please call the roll.
Trustees Del Rosario.
Here.
Nasty.
Here.
Reyes. Here. Co-chairs Hunley.
Here.
Kluzny. O'Brien. Here.
Thank you. Item number 2, consideration to approve the minutes of the May 6th, 2024 combined meeting of the committees.
So move. Second.
Any questions, comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 3, moving on. Audience input regarding agenda items before the committee. Looks like we have none. Item number 4, discussions of accounts payable. Earlier this evening, the Finance and Policy Committee reviewed these directives. Directive number 25-3 in the amount of $503,921.79. Directive 25-04, $1,827,567,067.06. Directive number 25-05, $929,598.03.
Make the motion. Second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item, consideration of a resolution designating Freedom of Information officers for the Village of Addison.
Make the motion.
Lucille.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Every year, our FOIA officers have to be recertified. They take an online test, of which they have to succeed in, and then present their certificate of completion to me, which I have them all here. The resolution that you have in front of you should also have a list of all of our FOIA officers. If you have any questions, it's an annual thing. We have to do this every year.
Just one comment. We did have a little test earlier, I think it was last year, and our officers passed with flying colors, so they were well prepared.
Yeah, see?
That's awesome. Great job. Thank you.
And it's not all that easy. You really have
No,
to
I'm
put
sure
some
it's
thought into
not.
it. It isn't.
All right. Thank you, Lucille. Item number 6. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Item number 6, moving on. Consideration of a resolution approving a quote from CDW for a purchase of 1 HP Gen 10 server with ILO support through Sourcewell participating agreement in the amount of $17,811.85. Funding in account 620.9962-4304.
Make the motion.
Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a purchase of a single server to replace our aging Generation 8 servers. This will be housed here at Village Hall, and it is a purchase off the state contract from CDWG.
All right. Thank you. I have no questions. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Resolution stands approved. Thanks, Mike. Item number 7, consideration of a resolution repealing Resolution R-23-76 and approving a revised estimate from ABEEP LLC in the amount of $62,563 for the purchase of upgraded microwave infrastructure, and a request to waive the formal bid process, funding in account 100.1530-4304.
Make the motion.
Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are asking to repeal one resolution from the last budget year. Due to the FCC licensing, we were trying to get 11 gigahertz. We had to move to an 18 gigahertz range, which does change the radios and doesn't make a cost increase. So we are asking for the formal waiver of bid on this and your approval.
All right. Motion to waive the bid. Is there?
Second.
Do we waive that, Dave?
We don't need to make a separate motion
Okay.
to waive the formal bidding process. We just need to get approval from the committee with regard to this item.
Okay. I have no questions. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution stands approved. Thanks, Mike. Item number 8, moving on. Consideration of a resolution approving a renewal quotation from Esri, Inc. for ArcGIS software services in a not-to-exceed amount of $16,208, and a request to waive formal bid process, funding in account 620.9962-4105.
Make the motion.
Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is our GIS software. We've been in use for 20 years with Esri. This is their product. This is direct from Esri, so we are asking to waive the formal bid process.
I have no questions. Any questions for the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Consideration resolution approved. Thanks, Mike. Item number 9. Don't go anywhere yet, Mike. Consideration of resolution approving the estimate for extreme edge and core switches from NLogic Consulting, LLC, in the not-to-exceed amount of $78,730.20, and request to waive the formal bid process funding in account 620.99624304.
Make the motion.
Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the replacement of the police core, the Henry Hyde switch, and an additional fiber switch here at Village Hall. The police core is aged out at 8 years of age. Henry Hyde has never truly been replaced, so this will be the first time buying a new one for them. And then the fiber core is part of the continuing advancement of our infrastructure here at Village Hall to make use of the fiber in the higher speeds. We are asking for to waive the formal bid process where NLogic has been our extreme distributor and vendor for the last 14 years.
Thank you, Mike. I have no questions. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? All right, resolution stands approved. Thanks, Mike. Item number 10, consideration of a resolution approving an estimate for Wi-Fi 7.6E controller access points and 3-year support from NLogic Consulting, LLC, the not-to-exceed amount of $164,716.35, and request to waive the formal bid process funding in account 620.9962-4304.
Make the motion.
Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, this is through NLogic. This is our Extreme Wi-Fi. So we are asking to waive the formal bid process because they have been our vendor for 14 years, and they also help support this infrastructure. This will probably be the best project for the village. This is the upgraded Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi we currently have is almost 14 years old. So it's been here quite a while. It's been very useful for everybody, and the advancement technology, everything is going Wi-Fi, and these new speeds will greatly be needed throughout the village.
So, Mike, how many times do you get the phone call? It's not fast enough.
Quite often.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Resolution stands approved. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Moving on, number 11, consideration of resolutions approving agreements with Pyrotechnico Fireworks, Inc. for the July 4th and August 29th Rock and Wheels fireworks displays, a total amount of $50,000, and request to waive formal bid process, funding in account 100.1050-4120.
Make the motion.
Don?
Thank you very much. These are 2 resolutions which will approve agreements with Pyrotechnico Fireworks Incorporated for fireworks displays at the Rock and Wheels events on July 4th and August 29th, and to waive the formal bid process in the total amount of $50,000. Staff recommends your consideration.
Thanks, Don. Based on past performances, we've had a lot of rave reviews, so expecting the same.
Yes.
Thanks, Rick. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Don,
Thank you very much.
Item number 12, consideration of a resolution approving the purchase of one 2024 John Deere 544-P four-wheel drive loader from West Side Tractor Sales through Suburban Purchasing Coalition in the not-to-exceed amount of $194,828.18, and request to waive the formal bid process funding in account 640.9964-4347.
Make the motion?
Second.
Rick?
Thank you, Chairman Nasty. This item for your consideration is for the purchase of replacement for a tractor in our street department. This was a budgeted item for this year's upcoming, or this current budget year. This Tractor would be purchased through Sourcewell, through the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative. We were fearing that there could be a price increase coming June 1st, so it is something that we wanted to lock in and get ordered. As part of this purchase, we will be trading in our old tractor. Their price and all the information is in the proposal. So this resolution then would accept the proposal from Westside Tractor Sales. It would also waive the formal bid process for this item, so we're seeking your approval for the resolution at this time.
Thank you, Rick. I have no questions. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? All right. Resolution stands approved. Thanks, Rick. Item number 13, consideration of a resolution approving a proposal from Trotter and Associates, Inc. for design engineering, bid assistance, and construction engineering services for the sewer separation project and the home addition area of the not-to-exceed amount $1,333,100. RFP number 24-3-1, funding in account 520.9952-4412.02.
Make the motion.
Rick.
Thank you again, Chairman Nasty. The village recently sent out a proposal for design work for the sewer separation. This is a large infrastructure project that is going to be in what we call the home addition area. So that's the area approximately south of Lake, east of Addison Road, north of Fullerton, and west of Villa. So if you could picture that section of town there, in that area, a majority of that has combined sewers. So the village has been looking to do a sewer separation project. This would install a completely separate new storm sewer system. This will improve drainage in that area, reduce flooding. We're also, as part of this project, we're going to be adding a detention basin in the area of Cherokee Park to also help with some additional stormwater storage. We did send out proposals. We received 3 from engineering firms. So our group in Public Works, along with our staff in engineering, 7 of us reviewed the proposals, scored the proposals, and the highest of all of them, among all 7 reviewers, was Trotter and Associates. So at that point then, we brought in Trotter to discuss and negotiate final pricing, scope of work, things to be included in the contract, and so on. So we did arrive then at a final contract price, as noted, of $1,333,100. That will cover all of the design along with the resident engineering, the construction engineering out there during what could be 2 summers of construction work, which I know people don't like to hear, and I've already seen the construction going on around town. But it will be approximately a 2-year project. But again, the improvements in the infrastructure and benefits that we will gain will be huge for many, many, many years to come on that project. Our attorney has helped prepare and review the contract language, and so everyone's in agreement. The contract has been signed by Trotter, so we're seeking approval then of the resolution to approve the proposal from Trotter and Associates.
Awesome. And as you mentioned, the staff has provided or prepared letters to send out to residents?
Yes, staff is going to notify residents in that area. First, there'll be some surveying work as they do the design. So there will be teams of surveyors out there, but no construction is expected until next spring, to spring of '25.
So short-term pain for long-term gain. Thank you, Rick.
Right.
Any
Thank you.
questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Resolution stands approved. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Item number 14, consideration of a resolution approving an agreement for construction engineering services with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. in the not-to-exceed amount of $29,749 for the Armitage Avenue Sidewalk Improvement Project for Ardmore Avenue to Ellsworth Avenue, funding in account 250.9925.4459.
Make the motion.
Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. With the high number of concurrent engineering projects we have going on this season, our village staff requested a proposal from Civil Tech to perform construction engineering services to assist with documentation of quantities and IDOT paperwork for the Armitage Avenue Safe Routes to School project. The proposal from Civil Tech is in your packet. It's in the not-to-exceed amount of $29,749. The proposal is in line with our proposed scope and the estimated cost of the project. So at this time, we're recommending your approval of the resolution.
I have no questions. Thanks, Mike. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Consideration resolution approved. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Item number 15, consideration of a resolution approving an agreement for construction engineering services with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. in the not-to-exceed amount of $160,662 for the Lombard Road South resurfacing and sidewalk improvements project from Fulton Avenue to Army Trail Boulevard, funding in account 250.9925-4415.
Make the motion.
Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a similar request to the one we just went through on Armitage, only this is on Lombard Road, which is south of Army Trail and to Fullerton Avenue. Same type of services, construction engineering services, where we would like to use Civil Tech for our documentation of quantities, but also for IDOT paperwork. It's very time-consuming to do that, and again, with the number of projects that we have going on, this is something that we would really like to have. The proposal is in your packet. It is a not-to-exceed amount of $160,662, and again, this was in line with our proposed scope and our estimate when we bid out the project. So tonight, we're asking for your favorable consideration in approving the resolution.
Perfect. Thanks, Mike. I have no questions. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Resolution stands approved. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Move on to the Building, Zoning, and Development Committee items. Item number 16 is consideration of an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Village of Addison Code and zoning ordinance with respect to cannabis business establishments.
Make the motion.
Motion on second. On discussion. Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Staff's requesting two changes of the Village Code. One's in the zoning ordinance or zoning code, and the other one's in Chapter 13 of the Village Code. It's with regard to the hours of operation for cannabis establishments. Currently, the ordinance indicates no cannabis establishment can operate between the hours of 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. The proposed change would restrict cannabis establishments from operating between the hours of 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. It's an hour, get an extra hour. This is really more in line with the state regulations. We're trying to be consistent. The change was brought to our Planning and Zoning Commission on March 13th, and after some discussion, a positive recommendation was given. So barring no questions from staff, we are recommending your favorable consideration in approving the proposed changes.
No, I had no questions, Mike. Yeah, that's why we're doing it, because it's in line with the state. When we first did it, we really didn't have hours established in, so. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Moving on to Public Health, Safety, and Judicial Committee items. Item number 17, consideration of an ordinance amending the traffic regulations within the Village of Addison for no parking on certain portions of Army Trail Boulevard.
Second.
Mike?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Staff's requesting your consideration in approving two no parking zones on Army Trail Boulevard, both adjacent to the Village Hall. The first zone is located on the north side of Army Trail, west of May Street to Friendship Plaza. This is the area of street that's adjacent to the police department parking lot. Having vehicles parked in this location really kind of creates a line of sight issue. There's been some close calls in the past with pedestrians or people on bicycles or motorists, especially when the police have a call. They need to get out of that lot quickly. So with the cars parked there, it's a little more difficult to try to get out. We've actually pulled up some collision reports. We found that there was 2 crashes in the last 3 years. So by creating the no parking zone, the site distance dramatically increases, so it's much easier to get out of there. The second area is just a little bit south of that, or excuse me, east of that on the south side of Army Trail. This is at the intersection of May and Army Trail, right at the church intersection there. Cars are parking too close to that intersection, so if you're traveling north on May Street, trying to turn west on Army Trail, you really can't see if anybody's coming down Army Trail heading westbound from the east side. So we'd like to have a no parking zone there or a sign there. The distances are in the map. If you had a chance to take a look at that, it's in line with typical traffic requirements. So again, this is going to increase sight distance and help drivers more safely make turns from May Street onto Army Trail Road. So due to the safety concerns, staff recommend your favorable consideration in approving the proposed ordinance.
And I did see the map, and it looks like there's only there could only be a couple, we're only getting rid of a couple spots, right? Where
Yeah,
people
I
would
think
be
it's
parking.
maybe 2,
Right.
1 for sure, but maybe 2.
Okay, I don't have any other questions. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to item number 18, audience participation. It looks like we do not have any tonight. Item 19, executive session isn't necessary. Item 20, other business at the discretion of the chairman. We have nothing. And item number 21,
Motion to adjourn?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the regular village board meeting for Monday, May 20th to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustees Del Rosario,
Here.
Hundley,
Here.
Kluzny is absent this evening, Nasty,
Here.
O'Brien, Reyes, and Mayor Veenstra.
Here. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item is the approval of the minutes of the May 6th regular village board meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second?
Motion and a second. Discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes stand approved. Item 5, proclamations, appointments, and presentations. We do have a proclamation declaring May 2024 to the 24th National Public Works Week in the Village of Addison. If the attorney would please read that.
This is a proclamation declaring May 20th through 24th, 2024 National Public Works Week in the Village of Addison. Whereas public works services provided in our community are an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives, and whereas the support of an understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of public works systems and programs such as water, sewers, wastewater treatment, roads, streetlights, trees, vehicle maintenance, and public buildings. And whereas the health, safety, and comfort of this community greatly depends on these facilities and services, and whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, are vitally dependent upon the efforts and skill of public works officials, and whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff public works departments is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform, and whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now, therefore, Rich Veenstra, Mayor, does hereby proclaim May 20th through May 24th, 2024 to be National Public Works Week in the Village of Addison, and he calls upon all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public works and to recognize the contributions which public works officials make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life.
Rick, it's a pleasure to present this to you. Your Department of Public Works is truly the unsung heroes of the village. People just expect things to work, and they don't really think about all of the hard effort and skill and expertise that goes in to make sure the water runs, the sewers are working, the streets are taken care of. There's just so much that we take for granted on a daily basis that needs to be done, and you and your team do it, and so we're really, really thrilled about the hard work and effort, and thank you very much. And a few words.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, a lot of the work is behind the scenes, and an incredible group of people that have the privilege to work with the men and women of Public Works across all 7 divisions. Like you said, they take care of so many different things, a lot of which people don't see because they're underground or, and so it's not always there. But, we continuously strive to make infrastructure improvements each year to get better. Each year we strive to get better with our service to our residents. That's the utmost and most important thing we do. It's the most rewarding part of our job, is to be able to help residents with whatever those needs are or issues are that arise. So on behalf of all the men and women of Public Works, thank you, and thank you for recognizing the Public Works employees for this week.
Thank you. And I just also want to add that the reason that team does so well is its leadership. And Joe, if you want to join me. Rick is going to be retiring. In fact, this is his last board meeting. So I want to, on the part of the board, just thank you for all of your years of service. And the department is what it is because of you. So thank you very much. And Joe?
Well said, Mayor. Thank you very much, Rick, to you. For our residents, Rick started with us in January of 1990. So Rick will, 34 years here. He'll make it to 35. But Rick, I can't thank you enough. You've been a huge support for me, taking on this job 4 years ago. You're right by my side, and the residents also need to know you really are the guy behind the scenes for funding projects, when your streets are getting done, when the water mains are coming in. I know some people get upset at times with the construction, but the amount of funding that you have brought for our residents, and you being a resident too, right? It's a double win, and you have been just tremendous at your craft and really bringing the next generation up, right? A couple years ago, you had a great idea to really go with a new direction in Public Works, and the leadership changed, and you implemented 4 superintendents, which really helps us now. So when you go off to your retirement with your wife and 2 daughters here, which would be fantastic for you, we're really set up nice, and that's, to what the mayor said, your leadership. So I can't thank you enough for all that you've done for me personally, for staff as a whole, and then for the whole village of Addison and the residents itself. So thank you very much, Rick. I wish you all the best in your retirement.
Thanks again, everyone. It's been a privilege to work for these 34 years here in the village that I was born and raised in. Makes it extra special to help residents, a lot of whom I've known all these years. Thanks to the board for always supporting Public Works whenever we do need, and we often need items, things, expensive things that have to be fixed or purchased, but the board, and then supporting our staff. Like Joe said, we have a great staff, a great team that I have the privilege to work with. I know going forward, you're in great hands with the team that's going forward, with my replacement, with Ryan, and there's going to be great things ahead for the village and make it even better. I had hoped to leave it better than when I left it. My boss told me the same thing. My old boss, Mitch, said, hey, as long as you try to leave it a little better than when you got here, you know, that's the goal. That's what you hope for, and I know that will continue. And thanks to my peers, all the other directors, for all their help and assistance. It wouldn't be possible without all that cooperation. So thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, I'd like to say a couple things about Rick. Rick, I've had the opportunity to work with you for 34 years, and I can honestly say you're a true professional, outstanding employee, and more importantly, just a fantastic human being. I'm really proud to work with you and be your friend as well. I wish you the best in all your retirement, you and Kim. I hope you guys enjoy it, and you deserve it, so congratulations.
All right, moving on. Item number 6 is audience input. We do not have any this evening. Item 7 is the consent agenda. 7A is approval of accounts payable.
Earlier this evening, the Finance and Policy Committee reviewed these directives. Directive 25-03, $503,921.79. Directive 25-4, $1,827,567.06. 25-5 in the amount of $929,598.03.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Reyes,
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. Item 8, ordinances and resolutions. 8A is the second reading of an ordinance approving an annexation agreement for the property at 4N 394 9th Avenue.
At their meeting on May 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which approves an annexation agreement for the property of 4 North 394 9th Avenue. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the May 6th Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance approving an annexation agreement for the property located at 4 North 394 9th Avenue.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
The
Oh,
ordinance.
I'm sorry, and Mayor Veenstra.
Yes. The ordinance is approved. 8B is the second reading of an ordinance annexing property of 4 and 394 9th Avenue to the village.
At their meeting on May 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which annexes the property of 4 North 394 9th Avenue to the village. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the May 6th Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance annexing the property located at 4 North 394 9th Avenue to the village.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
And Mayor Veenstra.
Yes. Item 8B, or C rather, is the second reading of an ordinance rezoning the property at 4N 394 9th Avenue to R2 Single Family Residence District.
At their meeting on May 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which rezones the property of 4 North 394 9th Avenue to R2 Single Family Residence District. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the May 6th Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance rezoning the property located at 4 North 394 9th Avenue to R2 Single Family Residence District.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
And Reyes?
Yes.
Ordinance is approved. 8D is the second reading of an ordinance approving a plat of re-subdivision for the property at 4N 394 9th Avenue.
At their meeting on May 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which approves a plat of re-subdivision for the property at 4 North 394 9th Avenue. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the May 6th Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance approving a plat of re-subdivision for the property located at 4 North 394 9th Avenue.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Hundley?
Yes.
Del Rosario?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
And Reyes?
Yes.
The ordinance stands approved. Item 8E is the second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 2 of the Village Code regarding the Community Advisory Council.
At their meeting on May 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of Chapter 2 of the Village Code regarding the Community Advisory Council. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given on May 6th, Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 2 of the Village Code regarding the Community Advisory Council.
Motion?
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
And Reyes?
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8F is the second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 2 of the Village Code regarding citizens' comment procedures.
At their meeting on May 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of Chapter 2 of the Village Code regarding citizens' comment procedures. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the May 6th Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 2 of the Village Code regarding citizens' comment procedures.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
And Reyes?
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. Item 8G is second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 23 of the Village Code regarding surcharge rates.
At their meeting on May 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of Chapter 23 of the Village Code regarding surcharge rates. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given on May 6th, Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 23 of the Village Code regarding surcharge rates.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
And Reyes?
The ordinance is approved. 8H is first reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Village of Addison Code and zoning ordinance with respect to cannabis business establishments.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of the Village of Addison Code and zoning ordinance with respect to cannabis business establishments. The committee recommended approval and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Village of Addison Code and zoning ordinance with respect to cannabis business establishments.
First reading only.
First reading. 8I is the first reading of an ordinance amending traffic regulations within the Village of Addison for no parking on certain portions of Army Trail Boulevard.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends traffic regulations within the Village of Addison for no parking on certain portions of Army Trail Boulevard. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance amending traffic regulations within the Village of Addison for no parking on certain portions of Army Trail Boulevard.
First reading?
First reading. 8J is consideration of a resolution designating Freedom of Information officers for the Village of Addison.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which designates Freedom of Information officers for the Village of Addison. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution designating Freedom of Information officers for the Village of Addison.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
And Reyes?
Resolution is approved. 8K is consideration of a resolution approving a quote from CDWG for the purchase of one HPE Gen 10 server with an ILO support through the Sourcewell participating agreement in the amount of $17,811.85.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves a quote from CDWG for the purchase of one HPE Gen 10 server with ELO support through Sourcewell participating agreement in the amount of $17,811.85. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving a quote from CDWG for the purchase of one HPE Gen 10 server with ILO support through a Sourcewell participating agreement in the amount of $17,811.85.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion and roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
And Reyes?
Resolution is approved. 8L is the consideration of a resolution repealing Resolution R-23-76 and approving a revised estimate from ABEEP LLC in the amount of $62,563 for the purchase of upgraded microwave infrastructure and a request to waive the formal bid process.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which repeals Resolution R-23-76 and approves a revised estimate from ABEEP LLC in the amount of $62,563 for the purchase and upgrade microwave infrastructure and a request to waive the formal bid process. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution repealing Resolution R-23-76 and approving a revised estimate from ABEEP LLC in the amount of $62,563 for the purchase of upgraded microwave infrastructure and a request to waive the formal bid process.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion and roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario?
Yes.
Hundley?
Yes.
Nasty?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
And Reyes?
The resolution is approved. 8M is consideration of a resolution approving a renewal quotation from ESRI Incorporated for ArcGIS software services in the not-to-exceed amount of $16,208 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves a renewal quotation from Esri Inc. for ArcGIS software services in the not-to-exceed amount of $16,208 and a request to waive the formal bid process. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving a renewal quotation from Esri Inc. for ArcGIS software services in a not-to-exceed amount of $16,208 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Excuse me, Attorney, do we need to waive on the?
No.
We don't?
It's part of the resolution.
Thank you. Okay. Roll call, trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. 8N is consideration of a resolution approving an estimate for extreme edge and core switches from Enlogic Consulting LLC in the not-to-exceed amount of $78,730.20 in a request to waive the formal bid process.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an estimate for extreme edge and core switches from Enlogic Consulting LLC in the not-to-exceed amount of $78,730.20. In a request to waive the formal bid process, the committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an estimate for extreme edge and core switches from Enlogic Consulting LLC in the not-to-exceed amount of $78,730.20 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. 8O is consideration of a resolution approving an estimate for Wi-Fi 7/6E controller, access points, and 3-year support from Enlogic Consulting LLC in the not-to-exceed amount of $164,716.35 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an estimate for the Wi-Fi 7/6E controller, access points, and 3-year support from Enlogic Consulting LLC in the not-to-exceed amount of $164,716.35 and a request to waive the formal bid process. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an estimate for a Wi-Fi 7/6E controller, access points, and 3-year support from Enlogic Consulting LLC in the not-to-exceed amount of $164,716.35 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8P is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement with Pyrotechnico Fireworks Incorporated for the July 4th Rock and Wheels fireworks display in the amount of $25,000 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an agreement with Pyrotechnico Fireworks, Inc. for the July 4th Rock and Wheels fireworks display in the amount of $25,000 and a request to waive the formal bid process. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement with Pyrotechnico Fireworks Incorporated for the July 4th Rock and Wheels fireworks display in the amount of $25,000 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
Motion?
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. 8Q is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement with Pyrotechnico Fireworks Incorporated for the August 29th Rock and Wheels fireworks display in the amount of $25,000 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an agreement with Pyrotechnico Fireworks, Inc. for August 29th Rock and Wheels fireworks display in the amount of $25,000 and a request to waive the formal bid process. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement with Pyrotechnico Fireworks Incorporated for the August 29th Rock and Wheels fireworks display in the amount of $25,000 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Resolution is approved. 8R is consideration of a resolution approving the purchase of one 2024 John Deere 544P four-wheel drive loader from Westside Tractor Sales through the Suburban Purchasing Coalition in a not-to-exceed amount of $194,828.18 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves the purchase of one 2024 John Deere 544-P four-wheel drive loader from Westside Tractor Sales through Suburban Purchasing Coalition in the not-to-exceed amount of $194,828.18. Request to waive the formal bid process. The committee has recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving the purchase of one 2024 John Deere 544P four-wheel drive loader from Westside Tractor Sales through the Suburban Purchasing Coalition in the not-to-exceed amount of $194,828.18 and a request to waive the formal bid process.
Motion.
Second?
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Resolution is approved. 8S is consideration of a resolution approving a proposal from Trotter and Associates Incorporated for the design engineering, bid assistance, and construction engineering services for the sewer separation project in the home addition area in a not-to-exceed amount of $1,333,100.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves a proposal from Trotter and Associates, Inc. for design engineering bid assistance, construction, engineered services for sewer separation project in the home addition area in the not-to-exceed amount of $1,333,100. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving a proposal from Trotter and Associates Incorporated for design engineering, bid assistance, and construction engineering services for the sewer separation project in the home addition area in the not-to-exceed amount of $1,333,100.
Motion.
Second?
It's been a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
The resolution is approved. 8T is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement for construction engineering services with Civil Tech Engineering Incorporated in a not-to-exceed amount of $29,749 for the Armitage Avenue Sidewalk Improvement Project from Ardmore Avenue to Ellsworth Avenue.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an agreement for construction engineering services with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. in the not-to-exceed amount of $29,749 for the Armitage Avenue Sidewalk Improvement Project from Ardmore Avenue to Ellsworth Avenue. The committee has recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement for construction engineering services with Civil Tech Engineering Incorporated in the not-to-exceed amount of $29,749 for the Armitage Avenue Sidewalk Improvement Project from Ardmore Avenue to Ellsworth Avenue.
Motion.
Second?
Motion and second to approve. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
The resolution is approved. 8U is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement for construction engineering services with Civil Tech Engineering Incorporated in a not-to-exceed amount of $160,662 for the Lombard Road South resurfacing and sidewalk improvement project from Fullerton Avenue to Armory Trail Boulevard.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an agreement for construction engineered services with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. in the not-to-exceed amount of $160,662 $662 for the Lombard Road South resurfacing and sidewalk improvements project from Fullerton Avenue to Army Trail Boulevard. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement for construction engineering services with Civil Tech Engineering Incorporated in a not-to-exceed amount of $160,662 for the Lombard Road South resurfacing and sidewalk improvements project from Fullerton Avenue to Army Trail Boulevard.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
Resolution is approved. Item number 9, Mayor's Report. I have 2 requests. First is approval for 3 raffle permits for the Addison Historical Society for raffles being held on June 25th and August 29th at the Historical Museum. And the second is approval of a raffle permit for the Addison Parks and Rec Foundation for raffles being held at Rock and Wheels from June 6th through August 29th. Is there a motion to approve?
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The motion is approved. Item 10, Officers' Reports. Village Attorney.
I have nothing tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Village Manager.
Yes, Mayor, we do have one thing for our residents. Just a reminder that this coming Monday, May 27th, will be Memorial Day, and the village will be closed. We will reopen on the 28th at 8 a.m.
Thank you. And Village Clerk.
And events that day on Memorial Day will begin at 8 a.m. For further information, please visit ithappensinAddison.com for details. Breakfast, I believe, is always served at Indian Trail Junior High, so that's a good start to the holiday. Also, Nedstra is having a flippin' into summer pancake breakfast, which is a benefit. That will be on Saturday, June 1st, from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. To register, please go to Nedstra, nedsra.org. Then we have the Community Shredding Day, which will be on June 6th, which is a Thursday, at the Clarendale of Addison facility at 1651 West Lake Street from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. And it's summer. Rock and Wheels is coming. The 13th season begins on Thursday, June 6th. In Session will be on stage at 6:30, followed by Heartache Tonight at 8 p.m.
Thank you. Item 11 is Commission Board Reports. We have none. Item 12 is executive session. This evening, we do need one to review prior executive session minutes. And is there a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
and Reyes.
We're adjourned to executive session.